Let's go!
Yeah, we are way ahead where we were last year. And I think it starts with Taylen Green.
Guys absolutely roasted me for my Taylen Green comments last week. Well, you're going to like a lot of what I have to say today. Okay, four-man rush here. We start off throwing the football to Omega Blake, and this first play is indeed very interesting. So let's go to the actual top of the screen right here and see what actually is happening, because right here we do get an open post. So why was this post open? Well, we did have some calamity here at the top of the screen. This corner runs into his own guy, and guess what? This post is indeed open to what looks to be Jaylen Brown. So obviously, we do want to hit this. Okay, Taylen Green does have a tendency to miss some wide open deep touchdowns. You go to the Louisiana Tech game from last year, and I'm not sure if that would have been a tutty. It would have been a big play, but this one was also a big play, and it was a higher percentage throw. So it's not the worst thing in the world. This is a sexy design right here from Bobby Petrino. The first thing I really like about this is the formation the defense is playing. So we have a two high shell with the soft corner over here. You have got to be able to run on this box. And you can see there's a lot of meat at this line of scrimmage. Now, this is a very interesting way to block this play. It's an extremely difficult block right here by the tight end to come down to seal the play side in. So he's got to have a hard step, and we just got to make sure that he's not able to shoot into this immediately, because it is a pitch to the left side. And guess what? 83 does a good job getting a piece. And guess what? We have really good blocks across the way here because the guard and the tackle are able to pull. Okay, so it is the same side pull right here, and that's why that block is so important, because we also want this guard and tackle to get around clean. They are able to, and guess what? You get a nice block by 3 right here, and this guard right here, or excuse me, the guard is Carmona. That's an excellent piece of offensive line play, and now you have a lead blocker in a tackle. And Mike Washington actually sets this up beautifully. He presses and then knows where his blocker is. He knows the entire time that he's cutting right here, pressed it, found the hole. You get a good block right here by Jaylen Brown as well. And this is pitiful. Absolutely pitiful from a single digit. Number 9 makes a weird business decision. Was that a hold right there? Probably so, but that is still the most pathetic piece of defensive back tackling I may have ever seen. And I've seen some downright atrocious stuff. And Mike is able to giddy up here. And this honestly is really impressive. Make one more single digit miss at the end. He just kind of brushes him off for an easy walk in touchdown. Let's move ahead to a 3rd and 4. And we get something pretty bizarre here where the right guard of Arkansas actually knocks the center off his own block. You could see he thought the DT was going to rush this way, so he was going for a kill shot, and instead he pushes his own guy. So now we have a gap pressure right through here. Now, let's go through the progressions here. On 3rd and 4, these are some pretty deep-ish routes to run versus this. Could Taylen have actually got to this right here? Probably not. This is a vertical clear out. Maybe you can make a case that this ball could be thrown to Monty Harrison, but there's someone right in his face, and he sees that contain is not kept. So in this spot, throw it. Right here. Throw it. Throw it now. Okay? You still got it. You still got it. Throw it now. Throw it now. Okay? Instead, he finally throws it. And that's fine. Okay? But you see, when you wait this long, a better corner, Mansour Delane of LSU, he's picking that off, right? It's just not good QB play. Funny how in the game of football, it's all about youth, especially at the NFL level. But college football, to me, is actually about age. I want the more experienced quarterback more often than not. I also want the more experienced coordinator. And in this game, Arkansas State has the youngest FBS defensive coordinator who has, I believe, never called plays before, and he's going up against one of the best offensive minds in the history of college football. And basically, all they're running are verts, okay? Vert here, vert here, vert here. Taylen Green sees that this is a weird variation of split field. You can make a case that this safety should be more central. I don't know the calls, but this is horrible defensive structure, especially with the three-man rush. You don't want to give up that wide open, and boom, that tail and ball location to Raylan Sharp is an absolute thing of beauty. And this finish after the review to score is ridiculous. I want you to notice Taylen's eyes. So he sees that that safety is pinned. So he knows that those safeties, if there's two safeties over there, one of the verticals on the backside should be open. And we want to throw the seam ball right up the gut every single time. I also want to show you this. Taylen actually throws a relatively tight ball. Look at that. Boom. Peyton Manning himself couldn't have placed that any better. So really, really, really sexy stuff. And I want to show the finish here from Raylan yet again. Good stuff, keeping your body up and scoring. Okay, so is Taylen Green one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC? Man, I mean, this is just stupendously good quarterback play. You see the safety right here? He sells out to stop this run. I do love the design of this as well. The fact that you put two tight ends in make me think that you're really trying to smash it up the middle. Taylen pulls it. This honestly is just really bad defense, bad coaching. This is what happens when you have a defensive coordinator who's never called plays before, with both safeties filling in and there being no contained defender. It is very important for the safety to stay out here, especially if the end right here is pressing in. It's tough for me to say if the end right here was supposed to pick up the quarterback or the running back, but God, that's a really good pull read right there from Taylen. He really struggled with that some last week, and now this is just where he's special. I mean, there's just no other way around it. This is just ridiculous that a quarterback that tall can run at this speed. It's just stupendous, honestly. The fact that you have this in your arsenal is going to keep Arkansas in every game that they play this year. And that's some good hustle right there to get one final piece. Oh, man, Zero took a tumble, and it's a tutty. So this is something you see quite a bit of now, where you have a play-action fake. The quarterback rolls out to the left, and his job is to hit a wheel or just something up the right sideline. Arkansas State has the perfect defense called for this, and guess what? It doesn't matter. Taylen, good form right here, steps up, two hands on the football. And once again, this Arkansas State defense walked as if they had quicksand in their shoes. But Taylen Green can make players look like that. It's just ridiculous quarterback play, once again, from Taylen Green. You love to freaking see it. Can he do this versus the better teams? Alrighty, so if you have children watching this broadcast right now, please close their eyes, because what you're about to see is totally disrespectful. So, once again, you've already been pull read for a touchdown. Now the edge player is just playing Taylen the entire way. This is a good give read, and Braylon Russell runs it to the back of his own offensive lineman. He eventually finds a hole. Good second-level block right there by Carmona, but this right here. Boom! Braylon Russell from Benton, Arkansas. A little saltiness here. And if you understood, Benton rivalries, you got that reference. It is a tutty, though. So I've been labeled a Taylen hater, and this interception is bad. But I actually like it, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment. So, once again, this is just very simple quarters coverage. And, well, versus quarters, I want to hit this over the deep middle. So this post right here is indeed here, okay? So you can see that Taylen is reading things, and he's trying to hit this dig to Omega Blake. Is it there? Well, no, because your job right here, the conflict defender, is this overhang right here. So your job is to read this overhang. If he is back whatsoever, we want to hit the pivot route right here. But I honestly don't mind Taylen experimenting with this up 21, right? let's see if I actually can throw into windows with anticipation, with the ability to get the ball up and down over a defender. Now, this was a really bad decision, but I like the fact that he's trying to see if he can do this, because that does increase the ceiling of this offense. But still, it's really, really, really bad quarterback play. There's just no other way around it. Okay, now let's take a look at the eyes yet again. So we start off looking to the right, and I think what a lot of quarterbacks struggle with is just because you look right and work back left, that doesn't mean that somebody's going to be open on the backside dig, okay? And you can see he's staring it down for quite some time. He finally does rip it, and there's just a guy waiting right there, okay? It's also, even though you're tall, it can be difficult to see this guy right here as well. You also have the umpire to worry about, but ugh. Okay, so let's get to another Taylen INT. One thing I would say on this play right here, in a lot of instances, you want to be able to run on these fronts, this very soft six-man box, but we're trying to throw. And this is really good quarterbacking. Obviously, Omega Blake is doubled to the bottom. So let's work the 3 by one side, or the 3 of the 3 by one side. Kind of a weird concept. You're running a deeper little stick from the tight end. And I think Jaylen Brown in this spot thought the ball was supposed to go to the tight end. We really don't know. Okay, so Jaylen gets spooked by that, but I still need you to play stronger, right? I watched a good bit of Jaylen Brown when he was at LSU in his high school career. He would play a little weak and casual at times. We need to make sure that is, at the very least, an incompletion. This is really simple but good play design, but even better quarterback play right here from Taylen Green. Okay, so on tape, if I was Arkansas State, if I looked at this offense, I would be very scared of number 3 Brown, who's a number 2 receiver in this formation, of running slot fades, right? So I'm going to be playing further back and on my heels. So comeback routes versus this is going to be very potent, okay? So watch what actually happens here. Look at when Taylen actually decides to rip this ball. He is ripping it now, okay? And the reason why anticipation, and I've been so much on Taylen for throwing the ball just earlier, is because his windup is a little bit longer, and he does see things late. God, that is just really, really good NFL level quarterback play. Okay, this is pretty good process of elimination right here from Taylen Green. So there's 2 ways of looking at this play in particular. The first is he should probably still throw this football to Raylan Sharp. There's the flat right here. This defender pops down to the flat, but he did leave a little late to come to the flat, so I can understand him not ripping it, but this ball is here. Now, here's the thing about these types of formations and plays is Taylen Green sees that the mic here runs out to Sharp, all right? Now, if he sees pre-snap that it's man-to-man on this side, or if he thinks it's man-to-man on this side, he knows that this linebacker is going to run out to Mike Washington in the flat. So if that's the case, we have a lot of space to run through here, and that's exactly what happened. So it's fine. Obviously, we want to get that football to Raylan some of the time and not take hits. We also don't want to do that, but he can do that, and it's just Superman quarterback play, and he's still up. Ridiculous. Then on this next rep, we know the Taylen Green red zone experience can be very brutal. This right here, to me, is a clear run. Okay, if I see that every defender has their heels on the goal line, I want you taken off. All right, there's honestly nothing open here except this to the back to Jaylen Brown. This needs to be thrown on a line and high. Jaylen Brown's also not my favorite type of receiver in this spot. I would prefer this to be a bigger target. So he throws this actually up and down. He barely gets this over the linebacker, and it barely squeezes through to Jaylen Brown. Really good catch, and it is a touchdown. Alrighty, Arkansas fans, how about some trivia from our friends at Sequoia Dental? Book today your appointment in Northwest Arkansas at sequoiadental.com. Can you name the legendary modern era Arkansas tight end who wore number 83, right? Because Jaden Platt was the key blocker on so many key runs. That big Mike run you saw earlier. And then look at this. Double right here. Can we climb to the second level and get the key block here? Boom. He's able to get it. Now, big problem right here for Mike Washington. Ugh. I need you to score this. I really, really, really do. So you make the bold decision to not wait for your blocker. That's fine, especially if you think you can get the sideline. But if you are a big-time, prime-time runner, I need you to stay in bounds here and finish the job. Ugh. Ugh. All right, so let's get even crazier. You just had a big run to the right. When you're in pistol, teams love to run outside zone in pistol. Everyone knows that. Play action fake, and we're split zoning. The second tight end, split zoning, is essentially one of the tight ends or a player just running behind the line of scrimmage and just leaking into the flats, right? This is a split zone leak, if you will. And, man, it would have been nice to get Platt a nice catch for having such a good blocking game, but this is where you should go with the football every single time. Okay, really good throw right there by Taylen. It's always difficult against your body, and because the throw was so good, you're able to get Rohan Jones the sideline here, and he was able to take care of the rest. Once again, this Arkansas State defense was so abysmally bad. So, Arkansas fans, what do we make of this game? And can you actually go on the road and beat Austin Simmons and the Ole Miss Rebels? So one thing we've seen in the opening weeks of college football, and yes, it's been weaker competition, but the older quarterbacks have just ruled the sports. We've seen a lot of year one or just year two players and starters struggle, and Taylen Green, with all the experience that he has been mostly good, right? The PFF grades love him. His QBR in this game was 95.5, which is extremely high. 95.5 is a Joe Burrow level quarterback, but obviously you can't just look at the analytics. You can't just look at this or that. There were still some some Taylen Green disaster classes. There was a play in this game where he was getting brought down and he was backing up, and he almost threw the ball directly into the arms of a defensive lineman. So we have to limit those disaster plays. I don't mind, ironically, these picks as much as some others, because obviously it was Taylen playing a little bit outside of his comfort zone. But what have we learned is that this Arkansas wide receiver room is decent, right? I still don't think they're as good as last year's group. Let's see how they do versus an Ole Miss defense that lost all its really, really, really good defenders. Then on top of that, this Arkansas offensive line is also playing good. Right tackle is still a worry for me moving forward, but man, the problem if you're an Arkansas fan is that you have played the two worst defenses that any team in the SEC has played through the first 2 weeks. So it's a very skeptical way of looking at it. That's part of the reason why I delayed this film study, because, there was just bigger games than this one, even though for the state of Arkansas, it was a big deal. Now, a few extra little spicy takes here at the end. Dude, it is insane how many people have complained about the venue. Okay, I totally get it. And, I'm not even going to share my take on it. I just want to bring it up. And then, defensively, if you guys want an Arkansas defensive breakdown, let me know. I would love to do it. We've already done a special teams breakdown. It is for members only. Yes, there's a good way for you to support what we're doing. Check out our memberships, okay? It is linked down below. Just hit the join button. You'll see it, okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! Tonight, we are doing taco soup. Let's go.